I'm so glad she has made freedom the theme of her campaign, because I think in so many ways that's what's at stake. And yes, women's freedom is Exhibit A after Donald Trump demolished the right to choose. But of course, men are also more free.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the white dudes for Kamala Harris campaign that kicked off after the Black Women for Kamala, the white women for Kamala. Now we have the white dudes for Kamala. I never in my life, 40 years of living, did I think I would see this day right now where you could just have white guys openly congregating, especially on the left, and nobody calls this racist. Listen, a white guy congregating with other white guys, specifically white only, that's like slaves congregating in the building. It's like, what are y'all doing? Y'all trying to escape? Go back to the quarters right now. Who do y'all think y'all are congregating like this, trying to have a plan for each other? So, yeah, I never thought in my life I would see this, but here we are. Now, I don't think this kind of thing would fly if it was anything other than a Democratic political campaign situation. Anything else? Nah, it's just not going to work out. Okay, even if it was like a country music festival and there's too many white guys, you might have the police get called like, hey, they up to something. Something's going on. Okay, but hey, right now, I guess that whole thing has been suspended because they want to get Kamala Harris in office. Now, we got a lot. We got some cringe to get to, but here is a campaign, I guess you would say flyer for this event. You see the hat, and they're selling those hats. Yes, they are white dudes for Harris. Now, if you wear that hat in public, I think that they put something in your brain. They didn't do something too. You've been compromised in some kind of way. Okay, your mail card, forget white, your mail card needs to be immediately revoked. Okay, you need to go down the Bruce Jenner route, but different story. You see what this flyer says? Let's do our part to help elect Kamala Harris. And that was on Monday, this past Monday, a virtual meeting. I think they raised like $2 or $3 million. All right. So it says, we are honest, open, and ready to support our first Black woman president. If that's you, RSVP and bring your friends, family, and neighbors. All right. Now, here's an article from NPR. This is a real headline. You see them right here. Pardon me, it's not NPR. This is New York Times. This is a real thing. It says liberal white dudes rally for Harris. It's like a rainbow of beige. Real headline. Subhead: a huge video call for self-professed white dudes for Harris showed the breadth of the Democratic support for her candidacy and the ways the party is learning to make fun of itself. Okay, so that's what's happening right there. White dudes for Kamala, and that's fine. Now, we got quite a few white dudes who've spoken up. First, we have the Star Wars actor Mark Hamill.
They're so forthcoming with what they want to do. Get rid of the Department of Education completely. They're going to try and remake what we know as democracy into an autocracy. It's no surprise that he idolizes Viktor Orban and
That's that Joe Biden syndrome right there. You're losing your words, sir. Getting a little up there, get a little longer in the tooth.
The dictators of the world. That's what he yearns to be. Again, he said it out loud that he wants to be a dictator from day one. So never has it been more important for us to stand up to his mental illness and vote for Kamala in 2024.
Now, let's go back a little bit here because there were a few things that he said. First of all, you're talking about we want to take away democracy or Trump wants to. How about y'all basically appointing Kamala Harris as a Democratic Party nominee when no votes went to her at all? The votes went to the Biden-Harris campaign, not to the Harris and whoever she selects campaign. It went to Joe Biden to be the president. Nobody voted specifically for Kamala Harris. They did not do that. Okay. And then the Department of Education, you get a lot of kids who graduate high school in this country who cannot read at all, or they can barely, they're functionally illiterate. They know certain things, but really they can't read. And a lot of federal money is spent on this, and the Department of Education is in charge. So at a certain point, they have failed a large portion of our country. So why are they there? It appears to be a useless organization at this point. Now, here we go with Lance Bass and the baby daddy purchase, apparently. Let's check him out.
And for us, this isn't just about politics. It's about recognizing our privilege and the role we can play in making things better. And we need to back leaders who are committed to real change and equality. And Harris represents those values, and supporting her is more than just her. It's about standing up for justice and fairness. And we have a responsibility to use our voices and our influence to help shape the kind of society we want to live in.
So that's Lance Bass. I think, what was it, NSYNC? Now, this guy, I don't know who he is. Misha Collins, you guys may know who that is. I don't know all these people.
When I first saw the white dudes for Harris byline, I thought, oh, that's a little cringy. And I realized my own bias, which is we hear about white men congregating and we think of tiki torches and AR-15s and the Klan. And I think it's a really beautiful opportunity for us to take back that identity from those bands of bigots and misogynists, because they don't define who we are.
Okay, so you are the good guy. You're the good white guy. So you need to be put into a separate category. Okay, that's how that works. Now, what happens is you could just do one thing or be accused of doing one thing with no evidence really to support it. Even if you're innocent, now you get put in the category of bad white guys. How about we don't judge people based on their race? We judge them based on who they are. Okay. How about that? Like, that's a novel idea. A guy said that back a few years ago, back in the 60s, or I suppose. Let's just focus on that rather than be making everything be about race. I think that'd be a great thing to do. Now, here we go with Pete Buttigieg, another baby purchaser.
I'm so glad she has made freedom the theme of her campaign, because I think in so many ways that's what's at stake. And yes, women's freedom is Exhibit A after Donald Trump demolished the right to choose. But of course, men are also more free in a country where we have a president who stands up for things like access to abortion care. Men are more free.
So what are you saying? That men who get a woman pregnant can escape their responsibility by allowing her to delete the baby? Is that what you're saying? That we're more free like that? So men are free from our responsibilities that we do. We lay down with a woman, the baby comes, then we say, nope, I don't want it. Go ahead and just delete that. And how did Trump take a woman's right to choose away? All that the Supreme Court did, to be specific here, Buttigieg, was repeal Roe v. Wade, which brings the matter of abortion back to the states. And Trump himself said that he supports abortion in some instances, sexual assault, life of the mother, and then also a certain number of weeks. He's not an anti-abortion person. He's just an anti-extremist, because some of your people, including the former governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, say they can have abortion even after the baby is born. Not just up until birth, but after birth. So he's against the extremists. I don't think that any rational person would be against him in that sense. Now, let's keep on rocking here.
And that happens at the same time as the myths around America that we grew up with, that we as men are expected to be protectors and providers, are going out into an economy that doesn't really allow for that, especially for working class folks. And sort of like compounding on that, masculinity as a trope has been co-opted by the MAGA right into something that feeds into and exacerbates the loneliness epidemic, as well as the mental health crisis that many face.
Let's pause right here. Okay, Captain Man Bun, you're talking about masculinity has been co-opted by the right. Well, the truth is that a lot of women who are your liberal counterpart say that it's hard to find a man who's actually masculine and at the same time liberal. That's what they say. I'm a heterosexual person. I don't date men. That's what y'all women are saying about y'all. So why are you trying to say that we are doing the wrong thing? No, we're just actually men. You guys have lost your masculinity. You guys have just bought into a more feminine lifestyle, which is why a lot of y'all white guys, especially, become transgender when you get to be 65 years old. It's because you've been leaning into this soft, anti-masculine way of living your entire life. So why not become Bruce Jenner when you get to be 70 years old? You're on the way. You already got the ponytail. That's going to be a full wig in 2 years, but I digress.
End up leading to really destructive behaviors. We aren't the only ones that are hurt by these things. Black and brown people, LGBTQIA plus people, especially trans women and indigenous people, and, you know, all sorts of other folks in our society who've been historically and often still today are marginalized and being hurt, demonized, and marginalized even further.
Look, if I'm a regular white guy that's a normal guy, wife, kids, just doing my thing, going to work every day, I would be disgusted at people like this. I would be totally disgusted. Okay, the same way I was with, I don't know if I saw the black men for Kamala. I don't know if that really happened. But if I was a white guy, I'd be completely disgusted. 100%. That guy is representing me. No. That's not going to be what we do. Let's keep on going. We might have one more here.
He was always coming back to be with his men's group. I think they had more than white men in that group. So, but the idea that men can gather to talk about how we feel, interesting, powerful concept. And to include all, we said in our invitation, everyone is welcome. That's a really interesting phrase. Everyone is welcome. You might hear it in other places. I'm pretty sure you can feel that it's true here.
No, I don't know about that, because when you say everyone is welcome, first of all, I'm seeing all white guys, and ain't nothing wrong with that, but let's just, it says white dudes. So when you say everybody is welcome, but white dudes, you're kind of going for a specific audience. And again, ain't nothing wrong with that, but don't lie about it. And then beyond that, I don't think you would appreciate any MAGAs coming into your mix because of how badly you talked about them, talking about their misogynists and their racists and their sexist and their xenophobic and their homophobic. You say all that about them, so would they be welcomed? I don't really think so. I think that you want people, white guys, to look and sound and behave just like you. And if that's the case, just say that, and I'm cool with it. But don't get on here and tell me a lie. Don't do that. Don't lie when I can see exactly what's happening right in front of my face. If the sky is blue and you tell me it's green, I don't understand what you're doing. Now, of course, there's more. I'll try to link to more of these in the box, of course. And if you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But as I close, I want to say this. This particular event might have been worse than the white women for Kamala. Look, women tend to vote more for the liberals. Not all. Shout out to the women that are very conservative out there. They got their husband. They out there doing their career. Whatever you're doing, shout out to you. But it's more likely women going to vote for leftists than men. In this situation, you get all these really soft, weak, just lying, gaslighting, passive aggressive. I just don't like it. If that's going to be our future, that's going to be the guys that are influential or run the country, we're in trouble. We're doomed. If these are the guys that's going to be up in the leadership roles, we got a bad situation going on. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your thoughts on what's happening here with these guys, the white dudes for Kamala Harris? You think it's a good thing, bad thing, whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is super cringe, really weird, and very hypocritical because, again, if this was any group of white guys, not super leftists, man bun wearing, fingernail paint wearing, LGBT with a purchased baby having, if it was not those kind of guys getting together, then they would call the police and say that it's some kind of insurrection going on. That's what they would say. But again, rules for thee, but not for me. And whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.